Okay, next up, we have got Organ Mike running an Android game for us, which I think might be a GFH first. So whenever you're ready, Mike, show us Sentinels of the Multiverse.
Well, thank you very much. I'm sorry I can't give you a better. I can't give you a face cam. I don't actually have any light in this room at the moment. Anyway, yes, I am back. Earlier this evening, I ran Planet Diver, and now I'm here to do something completely different, which is a card game, tabletop card game, which has been converted to its Android form. So yes, I am Organ Mike. Where I stand, where I live, work, and play is Treaty 1 territory, the home of the Anishinaabe, Anishinaabe, Innuak, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and the heart of the Red River Métis Nation. The water I drink comes to me from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation, which only recently was able to access its own water. So I hope that what I do here today is in some small way of value towards purposes of restoration and reconciliation. Anyway, with that pleasant matter out of the way, I am playing Sentinels of the Multiverse. This is a tabletop card game. We're playing the base set, any percent. So if I go to new game, I'll show you, like, there's all these different packs and decks and things you can play with. But I'm just using the first one. I've got all of them because I'm a nerd and I have purchased a lot of things for this game, but I quite like it. It's a very good card game. It's a very good time waster on your Android. So we've got 4 villains to deal with. We have 10 heroes. We have 4 environments. We're going to be seeing each of these villains in their native environment, and we're going to be seeing all 10 heroes over the course of this run. So before we get going with each hero, with each villain, I'll give a very quick explainer as to what they're about. But the heroes I'll explain as we go. But these are all sort of analogs to heroes you might find in Marvel or DC comics. And so we'll start with the easiest one, Baron Blade, in his home at the Wagner Mars base. And to deal with Baron Blade, we have the Wraith, who's basically a Batman sort of analog. We have Tachyon, who's a speedster like the Flash. Legacy, who's kind of a flying brick kind of thing. Legacy is also Baron Blade's nemesis. So I'll give you a quick rundown of Baron Blade. Whoops. This is all the text on his card. You can turn that off if you want to see him. There he is. So Baron Blade will, for the first phase of the game, if he ever has 15 or more cards in his trash at the start of the turn, he activates his Terra Lunar Impulsion Beam and pulls the moon to the Earth. Game over. When he's flipped, after I beat him once, I will have to fight him a second time. We beat him, and then we have to get him personally, so he goes from 40 hit points to 30, and away we go. So, we'll start the fight. I'll explain the mechanics here as we go, but we get this lovely little cutscene. And we get to, tremble, fools, the moon grows closer with your every breath, and then the shadows strike as the wraith. Stand down, villain. And then when I hit start game, we'll start the timer. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1, away we are. So Baron Blade starts with a mobile defense platform, and then these cards come out. So this is Hasten Doom, and it shows us here the card on the top left. It shows us in the middle what it's doing to us. So in this case, it's 2 damage by toxic. There's 11 different elements. Does it to everyone, and it allows me to choose what order I want to do the damage in. So if you also read the text of the card, it says play the top card of the villain deck. So it's going to do 2 damage to each of my heroes. It does 1 extra point of damage to Legacy because he's the nemesis of Baron Blade. And then it plays the top card of the villain deck, which in this case is the Blade Battalion, which I can call up here. At the end of the villain turn, the card deals the hero target with the highest hit points, which was Haka at the moment, X melee damage, where X is his current hit points, and it has 5 hit points. Anyway, here we go. Our turns all consist, we go, so that the villain goes, and then we go in order through the heroes, and then the environment plays the cards. The environment has 15 cards here, the villain deck is here, and each of our heroes is represented by a stack of 40 cards plus a character card. So we've got 4 cards down here. We're going to start with the wraiths. So we get to play a card, we get to use a power, and then we draw a card. And there's a start phase, play, power, draw, end phase every turn. So we'll start with this. The infrared eyepiece reveals the top 2 cards of the villain deck. Put one on top, one on the bottom. I'm glad to have that because that gives us the only form of deck control that we have. So I can see here I don't want another mobile defense platform in place. We'll put the elemental redistributor on top of the deck. Then it will draw a card, because that's part of what it does, and then I draw a card for the end of phase. And now we get Tachyon. Tachyon's our speedster. The HUD goggles allow me to play an additional card during my play phase, so we'll put that in play. It's never wrong to have that. And we'll use Accelerated Assault. Every non-hero target, 1 damage. Now we can't do any damage to Baron Blade because of this. He's immune to damage until we destroy his mobile defense platform. So we're just going to get a block there. Tachyon's power reveals and replaces the top card of her deck. So Synaptic Interruption. It also allows me to discard that card if I wish. I don't want to discard that, so we're going to have that in hand. Thank you. Legacy. All right, so we're going to start here with Fortitude, which reduces all damage to Legacy by 1. And Legacy's power is to increase the damage dealt by all hero targets by 1 until the start of his next turn. And Haka. Now, it only stands to reason that we need someone who has a poor hand, so we're just going to use this. Haka of Shielding. Haka has Haka of Shielding, Haka of Battle, Haka of Recovery. So discard 1 or more cards, but the thing I want here is the draw 2 cards part. So we're going to draw 2 cards. Specifically Ground Pound, Punish the Weak. Yeah, we're going to discard 1, being Punish the Weak. Punish the Weak raises the damage that Haka does to the target with the lowest hit points, the enemy target, specifically with the lowest hit points, and then lowers the damage to everyone else. Villainous Weaponry. Increase damage dealt by by villain targets by 1. See, and there it gets added in, Villainous Weaponry, and we lose 1 point for Fortitude, which is great. Here's something I like, Impromptu Invention. Draw a card, put an equipment card either into play or in your hand, shuffle your deck. You may play a card. So it's basically a card that allows me to draw a card to replace itself and play a card to replace the play phase. Here's all the equipment the Wraith has. Like I said, she's kind of like she's kind of like a Batman sort of analog. There's a lovely line. If you look at the bottom of the cards, there's a little quote from one of the supposed thing. Is it somewhere? Here it is. A live fish? A true crime fighter always carries everything she needs in her utility belt, Tyler. And that's what we're going to put in play. Utility belt allows me to use an extra power. You can see that symbol at the bottom. P+. And at the moment, we're just going to put another set of infrared eyepiece into play. So we're going to be able to look at and control the villain deck twice. And we get a little bit of extra cards, get another utility belt. Fantastic. You see, some of these cards have the word limited on them. Limited means I can only have one of them in play at a time. So we're going to put Synaptic Interruption to play. If Tachyon would be dealt 3 or more damage from a single source, you may redirect that damage to a target of my choice. I don't have any call to play the other ones because the HUD goggles allow me to play 2 cards. Rapid Recon, yeah, we'll hold on to pushing the limits, I guess. Not much to do here. We're going to use a direct attack from Legacy. The Flying Smash allows me to do 3 targets, 3 melee damage. So we're going to work on getting rid of that mobile defense platform. And I don't think I really need to worry about the elemental redistributor at the moment, because I'm not doing a lot of fire, cold, or lightning damage. And here we've got, again, not much of use. We'll use Vitality Surge to draw cards. Rampage is a very interesting card. Every non-hero target 5 melee damage, and every hero target 2 melee damage. It's a nice opener for the fight. And we'll use this to take out the mobile defense platform. Finally, the Baron is vulnerable. When I reduce him to 0, he will flip over. Self-destruct sequence. So when this card comes into play, put the top 2 cards of the environment deck face down next to it. That pile is the countdown pile. If the countdown pile is ever empty, everyone dies. Game over. At the start of the turn, the player may skip the rest of their turn to put the top card of the environment deck onto the countdown pile. So yeah, we have to skip turns to keep ourselves alive. We're not going to be doing too much of that, I hope. There's the Hawk of Shielding coming into play. Good, we don't have to. We do not want to skip the rest of our turn. We have a Grappling Hook. Grappling Hook allows us to destroy one ongoing or environment card. That is an environment card. I do not want it in play anymore. There we go. And we will once more be looking at the Baron's hand. I do not want Hasten Doom. What do we got here? Definitely don't want Devious Disruption. Devious Disruption is the Baron's kind of cheat card. Each player may destroy any of their equipment and or ongoing cards. The Baron deals every hero target X lightning damage, where X is 3 plus the number of hero, ongoing, and equipment cards still in play. There's currently 6 ongoing and equipment cards. We want to be nowhere near Devious Disruption. This being the first cards they released, there's an unfortunate balance issue with the first 4 villains. And one of the balance problems is that they all have something like that. That's really kind of an unfair way of reducing your ability to actually fight. We're going to put Danger Sense up. This makes Legacy immune to damage from environment cards. So the basic cycle of a fight is you build up power and slowly chip away at the enemy until something happens and you break through. Speaking of breaking through, it's time for Rampage. 5 damage to every non-hero target. 6 with Galvanize. And then 3 damage for every non-hero or for every hero target, and we can redirect this with Synaptic Interruption to do even more damage. Now, Synaptic Interruption is a one-use thing, so... Alright, and the Baron, now finally being vulnerable, has been dealt 12 points of damage. Oxygen Leak. All fire damage is reduced by 3. At the end of the environment turn, a player may discard 1 card to destroy the card. At the start of the environment turn, deal every target, so that's every target, full stop. Toxic damage equal to the number of cards in the environment trash. There's 4 cards in the environment trash. I don't want to deal with that, so we are going to look through my character hands and discard a Haka of Shielding. Yeah, Haka of Shielding. Oxygen Leak was destroyed. In and out, simple as that. Flesh Repair Nanites, the Baron's going to recover 10 hit points, annoyingly. We are going to put Razor Ordnance into play. Wraith deals 1 target, 3 projectile damage. 3 is actually a fair bit of damage for a single move. We're going to deal with the Blade Battalion. That's fine. And we'll deal 4 damage because the Galvanize. Generally speaking, yeah, do I want to deal attacking on 2 sonic damage? So this is how pushing the limits work. Play an additional card and draw an additional card, and at the start of your turn, deal yourself 2 damage. And if you choose not to, then, well, you lose the card. Fleet of Foot is another card that allows us to draw and to draw a card to replace itself. Everyone gets to draw a card. Sonic Vortex. We have 3 burst cards in here. So Tachyon's 2 critical hits are Sonic Vortex and Lightspeed Barrage. And Sonic Vortex goes by the number of burst cards in the deck and allows me to deal X targets 3 damage each. So we're going to hit them all. And if you're wondering, I am tapping frantically on a screen with a stylus. We're going to play Sucker Punch even though it's not going to do anything. What it does is destroy a target with 2 or fewer hit points. But it's also a burst card, so it goes into that discard pile, which means that it boosts up her next critical hit. We are going to put Motivational Charge out. Motivational Charge, you can see at the bottom there's a symbol, it's a power, it does physical damage, and it heals. That's exactly what it does. 2 melee damage, and every hero target regains a hit point. But we're not going to use it just yet. We're going to have it in play. Ooh, Inspiring Presence. Nice. We're going to put the Mera in play. 2 melee damage, and draw a card. Another Ground Pound. Excellent. And there's the Taya. Here comes Pervasive Red Dust. At the end of the environment turn, destroy 4 equipment cards. If that doesn't seem fair, it's because it kind of isn't. So we're going to destroy 4 equipment cards of my choice. We have done so. When we destroy Pervasive Red Dust, everyone with an equipment card in their trash gets to put one card into play from their trash. One equipment card into play from their trash. I want to destroy it because my other option is letting it destroy. Use its onboard destruction, which is if each player discards a card, destroy the card. I don't want to do that. I want to just take it out. Pervasive Red Dust destroyed, and we all get to put a card directly into play. Razor Ordnance back in there. HUD Goggles back into play. Mara back into play. And we get to draw from Grappling Hook. We will check the Baron's cards. We're going to put the Powered Remote Turret into play. Well, on top of his deck. He'll put it into play. And we're going to stab the Baron with Razor Ordnance. Dunk. Do I want to deal? No, there's just no reason. I don't have cards. We're going to hold on to Hypersonic Assault. We're going to skip our power and our play phase to draw 2 cards instead of 1. So if you don't actually play a card or use a power during your turn... oh, do you need me to adjust my mic? Let's see if I can do that here. How's that? Is that better? Anyway, we're going to play Inspiring Presence. Every hero target regains a hit point when it comes into play, and all hero targets get 1 extra point of damage. Simple. Combined with Galvanize, though, that means that every hero target deals 2 different points of damage, or 2 points of damage. Okay, we're not looking at a lot of useful cards here. We're going to play Dominion. Whenever an environment card is destroyed, Haka gets to draw a new card. And we're going to punch the Blade Battalion. Since the damage it does is equal to its hit points, we're just going to reduce it to a single hit point. Savage Mana is a nice card. Haka of Restoration. Oxygen Leak. We've dealt with this before. We're just going to find out... Yeah, we're going to drop Inventory Barrage from the Wraith. That destroys all my equipment cards. I don't want to destroy my equipment cards, so I'm not going to do it. And having it destroyed means that it triggers Dominion, which gives Haka a new card. Powered Remote Turret. 2 damage, 2 projectile damage to every hero target. Alright, we are going to... Ooh. All 3 of my micro-targeting computers are here. I don't want them there. We are going to play Impromptu Invention. Wait, when did I make this thing? And we're going to put in... Smoke Bombs. Whenever a villain card would deal damage to a hero target with the lowest hit point, redirect that damage to the hero target with the highest hit points and reduce that damage by 1. Okay, and we're going to then put in Micro-Targeting Computer, which increases projectile damage that Wraith does by 2. I don't like either of these cards. Slash and Burn. We'll deal with that. So, 3 projectile damage, plus 2 for Razor Ordnance, plus 1 for Inspiring Presence, plus 1 for Galvanize is 7. That's a fair bet. That's a good roll. I could take the chance that we're going to win or we're going to beat the Baron back here. There's all my Nimble Strikes. And I think I will. We'll attempt to take the Baron out. So, Hypersonic Assault deals every non-hero target 1 sonic damage, and anything dealt damage this way cannot damage until the start of my next turn. So that will mean Powered Remote Turret cannot deal damage, Blade Battalion is going to get dead, and the Baron can't deal damage either. And if I want to look at that top card that I chose to put on there, Slash and Burn, Baron Blade deals the hero target with the lowest hit points 4 melee damage, and the highest hit points 6 fire damage. Fleet of Foot. We do not discard Fleet of Foot. Ever. Well, not having much else to do, I'm going to smack the Baron in the face with a Back Fist Strike. For 5. 6, because of the Nemesis effect. Legacy is the Nemesis. If you take a look here in the lower corner, where it says Galvanize, there's this little lantern symbol, and that is Legacy's symbol for Nemesis. We're going to use his power. Baron Blade has the same symbol on his card, right there, where it says villain. Shoot. If the symbols match, then they are nemesis to one another, which means that they do 1 point of extra damage. That's the entirety of the nemesis mechanic. We're going to put the Teha into play. Teha does... I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. It's all about balance, according to the card. It also helps to be stronger than everyone else. Deals 2 targets, 3 melee damage each. Well, I've got 2 targets. I'm going to deal them 3 melee damage each, plus 2. Boom. And... kaboom. And the Baron will flip over. Now we're on the back of his card. So the rules here. When flipped, the Baron... restore the Baron Blade's hit points is 30. Baron Blade is restored to 30, and the villain trash is placed on top of the villain deck. All 3 copies of Mobile Defense Platform are moved to the villain trash, and the deck is shuffled. So we essentially have a second phase of the fight. Meteor Storm. All targets are immune to damage until the Meteor Storm is ended. Living Force Field. Reduce damage to Baron Blade by 1. Now the Baron has an end of turn effect now, where he's going to try and deal damage to us directly. So skip the Meteor Storm, pardon me, we get rid of it by skipping our turn. I don't really want to do that. I have a hiccup, apparently. I do want to put Mega Computer into play. All environment cards reduce damage by 1. Boom. Now, I can't do any damage right now because of the Meteor Storm. But I can still see that whatever card the Baron gets in, whatever card I want... No, the Wraith's innate power reduces damage, incoming damage by 2 for the next hit. I want to skip the rest of the turn. No, I don't. There are people that will want to do that with Fleet of Foot. Everyone draws a card. There's an Infrared Eye piece. There's Lightspeed Barrage. Takedown. I don't think you're ready for it. Well, I mean, might as well play Sucker Punch to get it out of my hand and put it in my trash, because Lightspeed Barrage deals 1 X melee damage equal to the number of burst cards in my trash. So those cards with the special burst keyword are of great benefit. Let's see what's top here. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. Grab Pushing Limits, sure. We are going to skip the rest of the turn for Legacy. Boom. Tamoko. We're going to put Tamoko into play. It's another one that reduces damage. And we're going to smack the Baron in the... I don't know what that is. Face? Globe? The orb? We're going to hit the Baron in the orb. Maintenance level! Maintenance level makes the environment play more cards. Maintenance level! Maintenance level makes the environment play more cards. Yes, they do cascade like that. It can be a problem. And there's Baron's direct attack. Now your secondary problem here is that to get rid of this, we have to shuffle... Every player has to shuffle their trash into their hero deck to destroy that card. The problem with that is Tachion's basis of her critical hit, Lightspeed Barrage, is the number of cards in her trash. So I don't want that to happen. So we're just going to live with it for the moment. I'm going to Throat Jab the Baron. Throat Jab. One target, 2 melee damage. Target stealth damage this way. Cannot deal damage. Start of my next turn. Bam. Baron Blade can't deal damage. Doesn't mean he can't play a card, but he can't deal damage. So the Backlash field, anytime I deal damage to him, Baron Blade would turn around and deal damage to me. I don't like that one, so it's going to go back in the deck. Goes to the bottom of the deck. And we're going to throw my Razor Ordnance at him for 5 damage. And here, now seems about the time to crack out the Lightspeed Barrage. We'll put 1 more card in the discard first. Bonk. And we've got 11 burst cards in the discard. It very handily tells us that at the top right of the screen. So we'll play that, and it will deal 11 damage. Bam! And the way a lot of heroes play is they're looking for that one big hit somewhere in there. But a lot of them don't. Do I want to discard one card from the deck? Yes, I do. There's the other Lightspeed Barrage. So every hero plays differently, which is truly amazing given the number of heroes. I mean, there's 10 in the base set alone. We're going to play Takedown. Takedown means the villain cards can't be played. Increase damage to hero target, or by hero targets, not two. And Baron Blade is unable to deal damage, so... we're going to finish this, though. We're going to finish this in style with a Haka of Battle. So Haka is going to dance to Haka, and what this does is we just draw 2 cards, and every card we discard will add 1 to his next hit. So we're just going to discard... Just keep throwing cards out. There we go. We'll throw the whole hand out. Next damage increased by 12. That's more hit points than the Baron has, so we'll just smash him. Bam. There we go. And that is the end of the first fight. Next up is the next villain, Omnitron. Omnitron is basically the Borg. So at the start of every villain turn, Omnitron flips. So instead of having 2 hit point pools, we don't have to kill him twice, just once. But he flips over at the start of every turn. So on this side, the Self-Aware Robotics Factory, he will go through the trash, shuffle, and he will find a drone or component card from his deck that's already been put in the trash and put it into play. And on the other side, when he's over here, when he's a rampaging robot, he'll play 2 cards a turn. Now, while this doesn't mean that deck control is impossible, it's much more difficult. Plus, Omnitron has 2 cards in his deck, which they will turn up, which will wipe out my equipment cards, plus wipe out one that wipes out my ongoings, one that wipes out my equipment. So what I've got here are 3 characters who do not rely a lot on ongoing or equipment cards. Tachyon we're already familiar with. Visionary is a psychic, and Fanatic is an angel, essentially. We get our little scene here. We're fighting in the ruins of Atlantis. Offensive programming online, destroy humans. Repent, evildoer! You cannot stand against divine might! She's actually one of the more interesting characters. So, Omnitron flips over at the start of the turn and plays 2 cards. Interpolation Beam. So, Omnitron has these 2 kinds of cards that are very prevalent, other than his deck wipers, playfield wipers. Drones, which are autonomous minions, like the Blade Battalion that we saw in the last fight. So this is an automaton drone, and he also has components. The component gets destroyed when Omnitron is dealt 7 or more damage in a round. So a round starts with the villain turn and ends with the environment turn. So every time a player draws a card, Omnitron deals the hero 1 energy damage. That's annoying, but fortunately I have Undaunted here. Exactly 1 damage will be dealt to Fnatic, prevent the damage. Perfect. So we're going to start with that. Fnatic's attack deals 1 melee and 1 radiant damage. Boom. Wham. And yes, I do want to draw a card, thank you for asking, because I have Undaunted to prevent the damage. Visionary. Visionary is able to do all sorts of interesting... we are going to start here. I'm looking specifically for a few cards that I don't happen to have handy. So we're going to open with Decoy Projection. Whenever a Visionary would be dealt damage, redirect it to Decoy Projection. And we're going to use this, her power, to draw 2 cards and then discard a card. She's going to use it on herself. There's Rest of the Mind, we'll need that later. Mental Divergence, we'll probably need that. This could also go unprecedentedly quickly. I have to discard a card. We're going to discard Cerebral Hemorrhage. Do I want to draw a card? Yep. That's what I put the Decoy Projection out there, to take those hits. And Tachyon, we know all about Tachyon. We are going to open with this Synaptic Interruption. If Tachyon would be dealt 3 or more damage, redirect it to a target of my choice and destroy this card. Accelerated Assault, we're going to discard to start building up the burst set. We're going to draw a card. If you have any questions, I am looking at chat. Here's the Kraken. So Kraken will deal damage to the target with the non-environment target with the lowest hit points. Non-environment target with the lowest hit points happens to be this drone over here, so it's going to get smacked. Oh, no, decoy projection. I was wrong. That's okay. Adaptive plating subroutine. So there's 11 different types of damage. After Omnitron is dealt damage, he becomes immune to that type of damage. Whenever he's dealt damage of a different type, his damage immunity changes to that type. So if I hit him with a melee attack, he's immune to melee damage. If I hit him with fire attack, he's immune to fire damage, and no longer immune to melee damage. Again, obnoxious but not game-ending. We're going to leave this drone in play, because now it's the target with the lowest hit points, so the Kraken will go after that. And we are going to use Divine Sacrifice, not a card I use a lot. Deals up to 3 targets 1 irreductible radiant damage. Irreductible is a lovely term. So we're only going to use it on 1 target. Damage dealt by those targets is redirected to Fnatic. So Omnitron is now immune to radiant damage, but all Omnitron's damage, especially from this, is going to be redirected to Fnatic. So we're going to hit Omnitron again, now immune to melee damage, and now immune to radiant again. Yes, I want to draw a card. It's going to be redirected to me, and I'm undaunted. We are going to use... We're not going to use Rest of the Mind just yet. That's coming up. Use Prophetic Vision. Reveal the top 3 cards of the environment deck. Those all are terrible. This environment is hostile. The first 4 environments are actually pretty dangerous in general. So we've got the Atlantean Font of Power, which will start playing cards. When it comes into play, it plays the top card of every character's deck, starting with the villain. Toxic Seaweed. Whenever a hero uses a power, deal that hero 2 toxic damage. That's miserable. You can discard your entire hand to get rid of it. And then Phosphorescent Chamber. Increase all damage and all hit point recovery by 1, and then at the end of the player must discard a card. If it weren't for that last bit, it'd actually be a pretty good card. We're going to keep Atlantean Font of Power on top of the deck and put Toxic Seaweed on the bottom because blech. Draw 2 cards, please. We're still looking for more cards in your hand. Psychic Maelstrom. Redirected. Cerebral Hemorrhage. Redirected. Put that in the trash. Draw another card. Damage. Redirected. Suggestion will come in handy. We are going to go with Nimble Strike to get another card. Yep. It all gets redirected. We'll see what's on top of our deck. Research Grant. Big one. Do not redirect. Do not discard that. Yes, I want to draw it. Redirected. Beautiful. Atlantean Font of Power. We knew that was coming. There goes the drone. And he plays another adaptive plating subroutine. The Aegis of Resurrection. I'll explain this as we go. Twist the Ether. A lovely card that's going to go on Omnitron's back. Whenever a target would deal damage, the damage type changes to a type of my choice, and is either reduced or increased by 1, also by my choice. And I could put that on any target. I'm going to put it on Omnitron, because he's doing so much chip damage to me right now. I can just reduce the chip damage at source. Lightspeed Barrage is not going to do a lot of damage at the moment. And Omnitron's immune to melee damage. Sedative Flechettes. Hate. So, does every hero target 4 projectile damage and destroys all hero ongoing cards. It's a sweep card, and it's really obnoxious. So, we are going to confirm this. We do still have my Synaptic Interruption in play. It will get removed by the card. So, we're actually going to change this to Infernal damage and increase it by 1, and then redirect it back to Omnitron. Oh! And it's going to get bounced back to Fnatic, because all the damage Omnitron does. Yeah, okay. Now, the other factor of Undaunted is that whenever Fnatic would be dealt 5 or more damage from a single source, reduce that damage by 2. So it doesn't actually matter whether I increase or reduce the damage, it's still going to do 3 damage. So we'll just do Choose for me, Radiant. So if I go increase by 1, it's just going to get turned around and reduced by 2. Yes, yes. And both of these have to be destroyed now, because this game in its early form was not fair. We're going to keep this drone in play again because of the Kraken. Aegis of Resurrection came into play. When Fnatic drops to 0 or fewer hit points, restore Fnatic to 10 hit points, then destroy this card. That will come in handy. We're going to use Holy Nova. 1 radiant damage to all non-hero targets, and then every hero target hit point. Healing is pretty rare in this game, so getting anything that does some healing is useful. Yeah, I want to draw a card. Sacrosanct Martyr. There's a big one. Okay. It is time. We're going to put Mental Divergence into play, I think. How much damage has been done here? 3 damage. What have we got here to do damage with? Nothing. Okay, beautiful. We're going to put Mental Divergence into play. We're going to use its power to destroy an ongoing card. Specifically, that Interpolation Beam. Get out of here. He might put it back into play. But we'll see. We are going to put the Research Grant into play. My power off the Research Grant is draw 2, discard 1. Let's see what's going on here. Alright. Okay. Oh, is someone trying to talk at me here? Okay. Alright. So draw 2, discard 1. We are going to discard an Accelerated Assault. And again, building up those bursts for the next Lightspeed Barrage. Atlantean Font of Power destroys itself. Leaking Room! Loathsome. Leaking Room means that hero cards cannot be played, and lightning damage is increased because we're all wet. Here's Terraforming to take care of that, though. Destroy all environment cards, play as many villain cards as environment cards were destroyed. Omnitron is kind of the Borg. He repurposes everything. Technological Singularity, speaking of loathsome, wipes out all equipment cards, and then deals damage to the owners of the equipment cards. Alright. Sacrosanct Martyr. Fnatic deals herself up to 5 radiant damage, and deals target X radiant damage, where X is the amount of radiant damage the Fnatic has taken this turn. Currently, Omnitron is immune to radiant damage, so we're not even going to bother playing that. I'm going to play Final Dive. Final Dive destroys a target with 4 or fewer hit points, and then you deal X projectile damage, where X is the amount of hit points that target had, to another target. Like so. Immune to melee, immune to radiant. Embolden. We can use an extra power with that. That's very useful. We're going to put Demoralization into play. At the start of turn, she's going to deal all enemy targets 1 psychic damage. We're going to use Mental Divergence to destroy what's it called? Adaptive Plating Subroutine. You'll have to pardon me, I am tired. We could destroy the Assault Drone. We're going to use Lightning Reflexes to play up to 2 cards right now. So we're going to put that in play, and we are going to destroy that Assault Drone with this. This has an if that target dealt Tachyon damage since your last turn, she deals that target 2 damage. Well, the Assault Drone hit her last turn, so there we go. Research Grant, draw 2, discard 1. Hot Goggles, nice. Fleet of Foot, also nice. Ditch Sucker Punch, there we go. Pushing the limits, hey alright, 3 cards I can play next turn. Mystical Defenses, at the end of the environment turn. 2 energy damage to every target. We've activated the auto turrets. And there's the Interpolation Beam back. And a Repair Drone. And he's going to heal himself with the Repair Drone. And we're just going to drop the Repair Drone on him again. It's 4 damage. Only this time, because the component is in play, we're going to deal enough damage to destroy that component very quickly. There's Absolution, it's her sword. There's Demoralization coming into play, doing 1 more point of damage to total 7, and making him immune to psychic damage. I'm going to hold on to Rest the Mind for the moment. Well, it doesn't actually do anything useful right now. we are going to play Suggestion. Suggestion takes 2 cards from the villain trash, puts 1 on top and 1 on the bottom. What I want to do, so you can see that he has another technological singularity in play, destroy all equipment cards, or in play in his deck. He has another terraforming in his deck, and he has another sedative flechettes in his deck, obnoxiously. So what I want to do here is I want to pull out the assault drone, and I want to pull out a repair drone. We're going to put the repair drone on top and the assault drone on the bottom, and just try and put some distance between me and the next obnoxious thing to happen. And we're going to get rid of that subroutine. Speaking of obnoxious, there we go. Got so many psychic maelstroms. Okay, HUD goggles. Pushing the limits. Both of those allow me to play another card. Fleet of Foot allows everyone to draw a card. Ooh, there's my critical hit. Decoy Projection. And Blinding Speed. And allows me to play another card on top of that. So we're going to play Blinding Speed, which destroys 1 environment or ongoing card. We're going to get rid of that Mystical Defenses, because I don't like... Actually, no, I shouldn't do that. Well, we're going to do it anyway. I've played the card. That's okay. There's more of those in my deck. HUD Goggles. I do not need another HUD Goggles. Lightspeed Barrage. Thank you. Sucker Punch. Pushing the limits allows me to draw an extra card. The Pillars of Hercules. So, at the start of every turn, the Pillars of Hercules plays the top card of the villain deck. You heard that right. At the start of every turn. At the start of Omnitron's turn, at the start of Fanatic's turn, there's the Electropulse Explosive. Now, if I want to destroy the Pillars of Hercules, I have to skip the rest of my turn. So, if I don't, though, there is a benefit to it. Every hero gets a double turn. Plays an additional card, uses an additional power, and draws an additional card. But remember, he's got some cards that sweep things. I don't really want him using those, so I really don't want that I don't want that available. So we're going to get rid of it right away. Much as it would be nice to play. The Electropulse Explosive. At the start of the villain turn, this card deals every hero target lightning damage, where X is the current hit points of the card. So we're going to start with this. Now we're going to use Rest the Mind. Whenever that target deals damage, you may redirect that damage to another target. Boom. So there's 14 damage that's going to go to the big guy. How much damage has been done here? Very little. Alright, not a problem. We're going to draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Visionary. Continue. Telekinetic Cocoon. Recognition. Both of those are useful. So we're going to ditch Psychic Maelstrom. Twist the Ether. Also useful. I like so many useful cards. Do we want to deal 2 sonic damage to myself? To get an extra play and an extra draw? Yes, at the moment I do. We are going to open with... I don't want to hit this, because its damage is based on how many hit points it has. What's my Lightspeed Barrage at? 8. We can do better than that. We're going to go Nimble Strike, punch this in the face, and then we're going to Sucker Punch it. Sucker Punch destroys a target with 2 or fewer hit points. And we're going to punch Omnitron in the face, because it's funny. Lightning Reflexes, excellent. Draw 2, discard 1. Hypersonic Assault, Pushing Limits. We do not need a second Pushing Limits in play. In fact, we can't have one. They're limited. Yes, I'm trying to discard... Get out. There we go. Quick Insight. Blinding Speed. Beautiful. Hallway Collapse. Deals 3 damage to everything. And then is instantly destroyed. We can redirect that, but I don't want to. We're going to take the 3, because we're going to redirect an 11. So, first up, we have to deal with this electromagnetic railgun. And then, we're going to start here. Synaptic Interruption, which should redirect damage to Omnitron. Don't redirect it again. That takes care of that. We're going to redirect damage from Fanatic to Omnitron. And if you're wondering why you might not want to do that, because Rest the Mind also deals damage to both. When it redirects damage, it deals damage to both the thing that it redirected damage from and to Visionary herself. So 3 damage each. Here comes an Assault Drone, and we are currently rampaging. and play another one. So this fight is getting closer than I like. We do have this, Wrathful Retribution. If you discard 3 cards, Fnatic deals 1 target X radiant damage, where X is the difference between her maximum and current hit points. Rather than risk not being able to play that, we're going to play it. Much as I like, all these are cards I want to keep. So we're going to throw out 3 of them, and we're going to do half of Omnitron's remaining hit points. There we go. Almost. Not quite. Bonk. Slap. Oh, there's another card of Absolution. Great. There's a little bit of Demoralization. That's fine. And we could twist the Ether. You know what? We're going to twist the Ether over here on Fnatic so that she can do more damage. We're going to use the secondary power, or secondary capability of Mental Divergence, which is to take an ongoing from a hero trash and put it on top of that hero's deck. Fnatic just threw out stuff I want to keep. Undaunted on top of her deck. Mass Levitation, that will come in handy if I ever get into play. Do I want to deal 2 sonic damage? Do I have 3 cards I want to play? I have Lightning Reflexes. No. We lose Pushing the Limits. We're going to play Lightning Reflexes, which allows me to play 2 cards based on Lightning Reflexes. We're going to open with an Accelerated Assault. We're just going to do 1 damage across the board here. We're going to use Quick Insight, which draws 3, discards 2. Should have done it the other way, but here we are. Going to ditch Pushing the Limits, and we're going to lose one of our Hypersonic Assaults. I'm holding on to this research grant because, you know, the other one might get destroyed. And we get to replace our Synaptic Interruption. Fantastic. Research grant. Draw 2, discard 1. Sucker Punch can go and boost up the power of my Lightspeed Barrage. Another Quick Insight. Great. Incoming! What do we got? Hallway Collapse. Another 3 damage across the board. Darn. Oh well. So be it. Rest the mind. When its target is destroyed, it gets destroyed itself. We're going to redirect that Hallway Collapse to Omnitron. This time with the redirecting. Hallway Collapse was destroyed. What's next? 7 of Flechettes. Well, that'll be the end of Fnatic, unfortunately. And a bunch of my cards. But a character who gets defeated is not over yet. They have incapacitated abilities. So what I want to look at here is how good is my Lightspeed Barrage. We're going to play for that. Select a hero, increase the next damage done by that hero. Tachyon, 2 extra damage. Viz, just to be safe. There's a few options for just to be safe here. Decoy Projection. 1 player draws 2 cards, then discards 1 card. I can discard Quick Insight to make my Lightspeed Barrage that much nicer. And then we're going to critical hit this guy. 18 burst damage for plus 2 for Fnatic's power. Leaves him with 1 hit point, and unfortunately, I don't have a Sucker Punch to finish him with. So we're just going to use Hypersonic Assault and finish the fight. There we go. Fight 2 down. Citizen Dawn. Let me check my notes, make sure I got the right fight. Citizen Dawn lives in Insula Primala. Citizen Dawn's power is, or Citizen Dawn is a minionist. She has a bunch of followers. Citizens of the Sun, leader of the Citizens of the Sun. She herself has not only the villain keyword, but the citizen keyword. At the start of the game, she will put up H. Whenever you see H on a card, that means the number of heroes in play. You play with 3 to 5 heroes. In this case, I'm playing with a team of 4. They are Raw, Wraith, Bunker, and Absolute Zero. So what she's going to do is put in a bunch of citizen cards. If there are 5 or more citizen cards in villain trash, she will flip over. She only flips once a game. Because when she's flipped over and merging with the power of the sun, She is immune to damage. You can see it right there under the gameplay heading. Citizen Dawn is immune to damage. She then plays 2 cards a turn until there are at least H-1, so in this case 3 citizens in play, including herself. Might as well say 3 villain targets, frankly. So here we go, onward. The world belongs to the citizens of the sun. Who do we get to start? Citizen Hammer, Citizen Winter. Beautiful. Citizen Hammer, Citizen Winter, and Citizen Sweat. Nice. Okay, so the way to deal with Citizen Dawn is we have to control when her citizens hit the trash. Citizen Hammer deals fire damage to the entire team, Citizen Winter deals ice damage to the entire team, and Citizen Sweat destroys ongoing cards. Just to be really obnoxious. Ra is a pugilist. Ra is a fighter type. Citizen Dawn also has all those citizen cards, and this. Devastating Aurora in her deck. Destroy all hero ongoing, all equipment, and all environment cards. We want to keep that out of her hand. We want to keep that out of play. So I'm going to put the Staff of Ra into play. Staff of Ra increases Ra's damage by 1. It increases the raw damage we're doing. No, that's not correct. Alright, it's no longer raw damage, it's modified. Alright, we don't have what I would like, so we're going to put smoke bombs into play to try and protect my team. And use Wraith's stealth. Bunker is another... he's basically a man in a vehicle-sized tank suit. Could open with combustion. We're going to open with ammo drop. Whenever a villain card is destroyed, you get to draw a card. Bunker's power is to draw a card. Bunker likes having cards in hand. He has mode cards, like there's turret mode. He's got 3 different modes. They all do different things, they all affect his play. Absolute Zero's power is to deal himself cold or fire damage. Here's why. When he's dealt fire damage, he turns around and deals cold damage in reverse when you've got the isothermic transducer in play. So we're going to do that. Deal yourself a point of fire damage, turn around and deal... Hammer does more damage, more easily preventable, so we'll go after Citizen Winter for the moment. It's not going to matter. Luminous Leadership is going to heal that back up anyway. Primordial Plant Life. Gosh, I hate this place. Yeah, but... Oh, that's right. I've got Citizen Sweat here. I played the wrong card. I shouldn't have played Ammo Drop. So, Primordial Plant Life deals 2 toxic damage to anyone who destroys an ongoing card and doesn't. And then it immediately gets itself destroyed. Thank you. Alright. Channel the Eclipse. Citizen Dawn deals herself 2 cold damage at the end of the turn. Here's where the order of things matters. Because we have smoke bombs in play. So we're redirecting damage. We're not going to redirect damage from you. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Shoot. Wasn't going to redirect damage from you, but I screwed up. We're going to redirect damage here. And we're going to redirect damage now to Absolute Zero, which will get turned out as ice damage. Citizen Winter. Citizen Winter is going to do ice damage to us all. I keep forgetting I need to do things other than choose. Okay. I don't like the way this fight is starting off. We're going to use Inferno. 3 damage, 3 fire damage to 1 target. 1 fire damage to up to 5 other targets. I don't want to wipe out all of these little... all of her minions just yet. I could, though. I could do fire damage to Absolute Zero and get some ice damage out of it, which I am going to do, so I can get some ice damage on Citizen Dawn. We're not going to do any more fire damage. Yes, you can target your own characters. There is often a reason to. And there's just as often not a reason to. There's Flesh of the Sun God. We'll be needing that if we want to keep Citizen Hammer around. I don't really want to keep him around, but what I really want to do is get rid of Channel the Eclipse because it lets her play extra cards. It doesn't just do damage to herself. We're going to put Razor Ordnance into play. The problem is, so long as I don't have debt control, she's she's getting ever closer to a devastating aurora, and there's nothing to do about it. Heavy plating, reduce damage by 1, and draw a card. There's another turret mode, recharge mode. Recharge mode allows him to draw more cards. Turret mode allows him to do more damage. Focused apertures increases ice damage dealt by absolute 0. Look at that. We're going to do just that. We get 2 cold damage for 1 fire damage. Impale, nice. What's coming in? Enraged T-Rex at the end of the environment turn deals 5 damage. Ugh. Yes. Healing Light, that's obnoxious, considering it's retreading my... And Citizen Assault. We will redirect... Yep. Yes. Yes, I need him to continue to have the lowest hit points. And full damage to those 2. Citizen Assault, we're going to redirect 2 damage. And because the smoke bombs reduce damage done, it means that 1 damage is reduced to 0, so we take no damage at all. Alright. Now we got some decisions to make. The Enraged T-Rex. At the end of the environment turn deals a target other than itself with the second highest HP 5 melee damage. You'll find a lot of environment cards have second highest, so they're not constantly hitting the villain, who has generally the highest. Flesh of the Sun God makes Ra immediately immune to fire damage, and using the power on it makes all hero character cards immune to fire damage. So we are now entirely immune to fire damage until the start of the next turn. We're going to play Micro-Targeting Computer, because we're going to do Micro-Targeting Computer sort of damage. 5 points of damage. We're going to leave Citizen Assault in play. I really want to get rid of the Enraged T-Rex, and not much I can do about that at the moment. Well, I could have targeted it. We're going to make sure none of his friends show up, though, by playing Adhesive Foam Grenade. Environment cards cannot be played until the start of your next turn. Draw a card. Decommissioned hardware. Yeah. Maintenance unit. Okay, cool. Here we go. Just getting 2 cards a turn, and I don't like it. We are going to play... I kind of want to hold off on Impale until Devastating Aurora is out of the factor. We're going to draw 2. We're going to just not use any powers. Field Freeze. There we go. That will clear off at least some of the problem. Unfortunately, there's this. Who's going to take the hit? Bunker. Incoming. There's Devastating Aurora. There goes everything. And including the Enraged T-Rex and Citizen Blood, who deals damage to the lowest melee lowest hit point target. Wraith is going to take that hit. And everyone's still immune to fire damage, even if the power is gone. That's fine. And we'll take a single point of damage, and we're in trouble. I may have to restart this fight. Summon Staff! Give me back the Staff of Ra. Ooh, drawn to... How many are in the trash? 2 in the trash. No, we're just going to play the Staff of Ra, and we're going to get rid of Citizen Hammer. Because without the ability to prevent damage that he does, we're in trouble. Okay. Trust Fund. I need to get the right cards out. Suit Yourself, Throat Jab, ditch the Mega Computer, ditch the Inventory Barrage. Protect Yourself. 2 points of damage. Bunker is getting hammered. Fortunately, we have decommissioned hardware, which allows me to put the heavy plating back into play from the trash. Flat Cannon, Maintenance Unit. Yes, good. Thank you. Fueled Freeze is where I'm going with this one. Fueled Freeze destroys up to 3 ongoing cards. Goodbye Channel the Eclipse. Goodbye Luminous Leadership. Deals X damage, where X is the number of ongoing cards that was destroyed, to all enemy targets. Absolute Zero's power deals damage to himself. We do not want to be using that right now. Incoming. River of Lava at the end of the environment turn. Anyone who does not deal... This is why I wanted Flesh of the Sun God. we're just gonna take the hit. Anyone who anyone who does not destroy one of their equipment cards takes damage. Oh. Okay, this round may be a wash. I may simply have to restart this. Warning you ahead of time, because I might. I don't want Citizen Dawn to merge with Power of the Sun, but I'm not seeing a lot of other options right now because I don't think I can beat her to damage. I don't think I can damage race her, and I'm getting pummeled. Switch self might be an option. Not Stunbolt. Stunbolt reduces the damage done by the target. Impromptu. Thank you. That will be good. Okay, what are we doing here? We are doing. We're not immune to fire, so using that would be external combustion. Deals himself 2 fire damage and every non-hero target 3 fire damage. We're going to put the flak cannon out and do 3 projectile damage to Citizen Dawn. Ba-da-bum. Thank you. And we're going to use this onboard module installation, which means I can take a module card from my deck and put it directly in hand and play another card. That other card is going to be Null Point Calibration Unit, which allows me to turn cold damage into healing. And there's an Isothermic Transducer, great. Yes, all players agree to discard 3 cards from their deck. So top 3 cards go out, and the River of Lava goes away. What comes next? Primordial Plant Life, which does end Bunker. Ra's going to destroy that to try and stay in the fight a little longer. We'll see if we can hold out here. I am not hopeful, because Wraith is going to get lost. Yeah, we're going to restart. Okay. Second go. Citizen Sweat, destroying ongoing. Citizen Spring, healing. Citizen Anvil, reducing damage dealt to other citizens. Citizen Dare, increasing damage dealt to heroes. Okay, so this is not actually a bad combination to start with. That's not good cards to start with, but here we are. Staff of Ra. We're going to focus on getting rid of Citizen Dare first, and then Citizen Sweat. Citizen Anvil reduces all damage by 2 villain targets. Thank you, Flesh of the Sun God. Still don't have the one I want, but that is what it is. We're going to open this fight with a... Well, we're going to plate Racer Ordnance into play. We're going to get rid of Citizen Dare. Bam. Out it goes. There's my impromptu invention. That will help. We are going to play Upgrade Mode, which allows me to play 2 cards every turn, but we can't use powers. Flak Cannon will go into play. Upgrade Mode was the first card. Draw a card on the turn. Yep. And we're going to open this fight here with Null Point Calibration Unit and a Point of Healing. Already at maximum hit points, but that's fine. Impale. Alright, here we go. Velociraptor Pack deals 2 damage to the target with the lowest hit points, no matter who it is. Channel the Eclipse. We are going to start... We're starting fancy, are we? Okay. Flesh of the Sun God into play, and now we're going to use this every single turn. All game. Because, if River of Lava shows up, it's going to hit me hard. Impromptu Invention. Finally, we're going to get our infrared eyepiece out and be able to control some of the deck. Smoke bombs, thank you. Now, we can't control all of it because, of course, Channel the Eclipse is there. Devastating Aurora can go away. Channel the Eclipse means that she's going to play 2 cards turn, which makes it hard to control. We're going to play Adhesive Foam Grenade to get rid of environment cards cannot be played. Thank you. We're going to Flak Cannon. That's Citizen Sweat. Bam. And... Frostbound Drain. No. We're going to draw 2. There's the Transducer and the Cryo Chamber. Fantastic. Incoming. What's the top card? Return with the Dawn. At the end of the villain turn, another card comes into play. Citizen Summer does fire damage, and I am immune to fire damage. There's Citizen Dare being annoying. The reason I had to choose is because Citizen Summer deals damage to the two targets with the most cards in play. Flesh of the Sun God can come back into play, and we're going to use it. Citizen Sweat destroyed it, because of course she did. Because I forgot that she's there. Alright. We are going to put the utility belt into play to play 2 powers per turn. We're going to use... what's here? We're going to use throwing knives. We're not going to use them this turn. We're going to see what's coming up. I hate both of those cards, so we're going to have to take Blinding Blast. Mega Computer, yep. Because Devastating Aurora is just too devastating. It's just too much. And get Citizen Sweat out of the fight, hopefully. Grenade Launcher will help. Unfortunately, Anvil is reducing the damage incoming. I need to do at least 1 damage. We're going to use Frostbound Drain. This deals 3 cold damage out and 3 fire damage in. But I'm immune to fire. And we're going to use the cold to heal. There we go. Wind Blast. So Blinding Blast is coming into play. 2 damage to every target, and every hero target, and every hero has to discard 2 cards. Obnoxious. There it is. On the other hand, I've put both Devastating Auroras at the bottom of the deck. Bunker. We do not need to use Imbued Fire. If we don't want to. Mega Computer and Inventory Barrage. We have a flat cannon in play already, and they are limited. Coolant Blast. We're not taking fire damage, so we don't need that. Healing Light. And here comes Citizen Sweat again to destroy an ongoing. Flesh of the Sun God was destroyed. Okay, cool. Fire Blast. Citizen Sweat, you're obnoxious. Go away. 5 damage, straight up. Unfortunately, I can't make myself immune to fire damage. We will put Combat Stance into play. Combat Stance allows her a reaction ability. The first time she gets hit, she turns around and deals 2 damage to that target. This is an Autumn Here's hoping we can keep those out of play. Heavy Plating. We've got 3 citizen cards in the trash. I can't seem to get anything that's going to let me keep them there. It is a card game, so if random chance dictates, we do not get the cards we want. Citizen Autumn is coming into play. Autumn destroys all of the ongoings held by the character with the lowest hit point count, so that at the moment is absolute 0. So I better not put any ongoings into play. Now it's not. Now it's Raw or Wraith. Enraged T-Rex, again. Now it's absolute 0. And now it's not quite Bunker. There we go. Top card, Citizen Autumn. Play a card. Luminous Leadership. Beautiful. I don't know, Wraith. Can I get a card, please? And Citizen Dare pulled back into play. Scorched Earth deals X fire damage, where X is the number of environment cards in play. There are 3 environment cards in play. We get to do 3 damage to every target. Goodbye, Citizen Dare. Or to every enemy target, anyway. Every non-hero is the way it's defined. Good time to remind everyone that we are fighting for a good cause here. And he'll go away. Trying to raise money for the Stand Up to Cancer Foundation. So yeah, if you want to donate money, that would be a good thing to do. We're going to throat jab a T-Rex so it doesn't hurt me. We're not letting another Channel the Eclipse come into play. Because yes, she can have 2 in play and she will play 3 cards a turn. And then it becomes 4 if she flips. So she's got 4 in there. If there are 5 cards in trash, she'll flip. I can't kill Citizen Autumn at the moment. I can, however, go after the other T-Rex, the one that's not immune, not going to cause damage. Ammo drop in play. Flak cannon at the T-Rex. Betty's foam grenade will be useful. Draw a card. Play a card. Yeah, that. Or put a card in hand. Sub-Zero Atmosphere is interesting. Any villain which would act at the end of the turn instead acts at the start of the turn. Which, I mean, would be useful, except Citizen Autumn is there ready to strip it off me. Except that these guys, we're going to get raw hit, which is now going to be the lowest. So it might be worth doing. Depending what's coming up. Citizen Battery is up next. Thermal Shockwave is also a possibility. She's still playing 2 cards, so... Sub-Zero Atmosphere. What happens at the end of turn now happens at the start and not at the end of turn, and we just have to keep Absolute Zero out of that point. Ooh, another Velociraptor pack. We are so toast, because Velociraptor packs do more damage the more of them there are. So now Citizen Dawn is going to flip, and flip means she is immune to damage. And plays an extra card. Still start of turn, so she's going to flip back. Is she going to flip back? Still start of turn? Nope. But Citizen Hammer doesn't get a turn because he came in during the card phase and not during the end of turn phase. Now, Citizen Truth renders all other villain targets immune to damage. So I really can't do anything here except we'll put Wrathful Gaze into play. And Citizen Truth also reduces damage to himself by 1. Just to make life really exciting. Now, Citizen Dawn has 5 Citizen cards in play. If there's 3 or more, she'll flip back at the start of her turn. So long as there are still 3 or more cards in play at the start of her turn, she will flip back. However, I'm going to put Mega Computer into play. Mega Computer reduces damage dealt by environment cards by 1. You can have multiples of them in play. What's coming in Dawn? I do not want another return with the Dawn in play. We're going to need to take down Citizen Truth eventually, and oh boy is it annoying. Let's stop anything from happening in the environment. We're going to need to take care of Citizen Truth eventually, and oh boy is it doing single points of damage when we've got multiples ready. She's going to flip this turn. which means I can safely put Impale on her. Well, I mean, not really, because I can't deal damage. But that's okay. I guess that's fine. We'll just put up with it. Citizen Dawn merged with the sun, as long as she could. Wraith. Combat stance does not do anything because of Citizen Truth. Healing Light. Heals everyone. Citizen Spring comes back into play with Return from the Dawn. I swear it knows when I'm streaming. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I need to break her ongoings, but I'm not getting anything to do that with. 2 damage. Woo! 2 damage! Citizen Truth is a pain in the neck. If Citizen Dare comes in, he supersedes Citizen Truth and eliminates him. Where's Devastating Aurora? 5th from the top. Okay, so she's gonna play 2 cards. We can leave aside. And little damage across there. I want to do 1 more damage so Citizen Truth is the lowest hit points. Auxiliary Power Control into play. Flat Cannon. Citizen Truth. Good. Now the Velociraptors will target you. Impale's not going to do any damage. We're going to put Focused Apertures into play. Increases gold damage. Boom. Molecular or modular realignment. We'll be looking at that later. River of Lava. Naturally. Citizen Truth. And of course the mega computer is biting me here. So this is supposed to be a speed run. We're going to destroy cards here so I don't take too much damage. Mega computer. Grenade launcher. Keep the flat cannon for... And we'll ditch the cryo chamber. That's fine. Citizen Assault. And Citizen Summer comes back. Exciting! Way too many citizens in play. Assault and Battery are in play, so Citizen Battery gets extra damage. Who do I want to put in danger? Absolute Zero, I guess. Citizen Hammer not found in the villain trash, because Citizen Anvil puts Citizen Hammer back into play. Yes. Yeah, congrats. Yeah, I get it. Yes. And Citizen Citizen Battery gives Citizen Assault extra damage. Bunker, I guess. We'll shift that over to there. Yeah. Shift that over there. And Citizen Tears shows up. Yay! Fortunately. Yeah. Gosh, I can't even play a card here. Solar Flare. Solar Flare increases the fire damage done by Ra, but only stays in play if Ra takes damage at the end of the turn. I can't afford to take damage at the end of the turn, so we are not going to deal Ra 4 psychic damage. Oh, hey, it's a grappling hook. I can finally get rid of Channel the Eclipse. Get out. Oh, there's my micro-targeting computer. Beautiful. Citizen Truth, go away. Where are we now? We're 2 cards away from Devastating Aurora. Okay. So not in any rush to get that in there. These guys still targeting... Yeah. Okay. Citizen Anvil is still in play. Annoyingly. We're going to not kill that because the citizens have less hit points than I do, meaning the Velociraptor is a viable target. We are going to use external combustion because we need to sweep these guys a bit. Here. 3 damage to all non-hero targets. Got to get Anvil out of there now, or he'll put the hammer back into play. Do I have Fueled Freeze? No, of course I don't. Why would I have Fueled Freeze? That would be useful. 2 cold damages turn. I could. Maybe should. But no, we're going to play Isothermic Transducer. Also could, maybe should, is this as well. Heal up. Okay. Yes, we all agree to discard to get rid of River of Lava. Because I no longer have Flesh of the Sun God. Primordial Plant Life. Because of course, why not? What are we getting rid of here? Wrathful Gaze, go away. Combat Stance, I am not needing. Ammo drop, fine. Ooh. Ooh. Is that start of turn, end of turn? I'm gonna have to get rid of Sub-Zero Atmosphere because I need to put pressure damage on Citizen Dawn. Ouch! We're still the second highest. Bunker. There we go. Citizen Dawn. Everyone regains leadership. Everyone regains again because play. Citizen Blood comes into play just to make things complicated because Citizen Blood has synergy with Citizen Tears. And with Citizen Sweat, but Sweat has not returned to play yet, but it's going to right now. Okay, Citizen Dare. Even worse. Beautiful! Oh my goodness. Redirect to absolute 0. Isothermic Transducer reacts. Hit Citizen Hammer. Go away. He does not then finish his attack. Yeah, 1... Yeah, okay. Raw's down. We're all down. Cool. Oh boy, how are we doing on time? Because we've got to restart this one again.
You're at about 1 hour and 19 minutes currently.
Do we want to play this out? Or do we want to call it here?
Depends how far away from the end you are.
What was my estimate? I think I put 1 hour 15, didn't I? Hour 30?
I believe that's correct, yes. An hour 15 was
You know what?
estimate.
Hour and 15. We're going to call Citizen Dawn off. She wins. I don't care. We're going to do Grand Warlord Voss. We're going to pull... Because that's the way I can pull out a full team. And usually, this one goes pretty quick. So I can at least show off... Much as I hate to be in the that's never happened before crowd, normally that doesn't go nearly so badly. So Grand Warlord Voss is another minion character. He brings in these minions. If there are ever 10 minions in play at the start of his turn, he wins. Game over. Also, all of these minions have different immunities. Here's Forced Deployment. All of the minions in the villain trash go into play. So killing them right now wouldn't help much. All of these minions do extra things. So, here we go. Legacy is back. Inspired Presence. Everyone gets a little bit of healing. do let me know if we have reached a point where we do need to stop. What Grand Warlord Voss does not have is a card which sweeps the character's stuff off the table. We've got 2 points of boost, so we're going to put Living Conflagration into play. Living Conflagration is an interesting one because it is an ongoing, but when you put it into play, it does damage, like a one-shot. Now again, Force Deployment is in play, so it doesn't matter that I kill these guys; they will be coming back in. Whether I destroy Force Deployment or whether Voss does. Voss's nemesis is the Tempest. Tempest is also an alien. Much less world conquering, though. We're going to use Cleansing Downpour, which is one of the very few healing skills in the game. 2 hit points back to every hero. We are going to... Oh, actually, we're going to neutralize that Force Deployment by using the Suggestion. Suggestion puts 1 card on top of the deck, 1 card on the bottom of the deck. Now there's, from the trash, now there's no cards in the trash. Fanatic, what do you got in hand? Okay. Raw. Who needs cards? Who needs cards? Legacy? We got cards to play. Okay. Visionary. Mind Spike. Foresight. We do not need Foresight. Okay, we are going to open with a Brutal Censure. 2 radiant damage to a target. It's going to kill it. It's fine. Doesn't matter what it is, because Force Deployment will destroy itself. End of Days! End of Days is a board sweeper. Destroy all cards in play other than this card carries. I can't do any damage right now, because Grand Warlord Voss has a particular special, depending on the number of minions in play. Targeting Innocence. So, targeting Innocence, if I don't destroy that by the start of the environment turn, it will deal fire damage to every target, and then a card called Impending Casualty into play. I have to deal with the psychic damage here, twice. Whatever type of damage these things do, they are immune to that type of damage themselves. That's not a general rule, that's just for these guys. Motivational Charge. And we've got the Legacy Ring, so I can show that off. It allows Legacy an extra power, lead in front, that will be handy. I'm going to play Staff of Ra. Of course I am. I've got 2 additional damage. So we get 4 damage here. Destroy the guard. The guard reduces all villain damage by 1. I don't want that around. Especially because I can put otherworldly presence in here. And use Tempest's ability to deal non-hero damage, to deal every non-hero damage, every non-hero 1 projectile damage. Which gets increased to 3, which will kill everything except this one that takes projectile damage. Alright, over here. I want to get rid of impending. I want to get rid of. So we're going to use Cerebral Hemorrhage. We'll flip over Voss. If there are ever no minions in play, Grand Warlord Voss will flip, and he'll start fighting himself. Not fighting himself. He will start fighting us himself. Pretty rare that enemies fight themselves, but it happens. Tempest. Flash Flood. Aquatic Correspondence. Get rid of the duplicate. And, Rest the Mind. Rest the Mind will be very handy. We are going to now flip into Sacrosanct Martyr mode. Sacrosanct Martyr allows Fanatic to do herself damage, and then turn around and deal that damage out as radiant damage. Take those hits, but there's no impending casualty. Plummeting Monorail deals 5 damage to the 2 targets, 5 melee damage with the 2 targets with the most hit points. Which in this case is Grand Warlord Voss and Ra. It's okay, we're all good here. We can play the Legacy Ring, increase damage dealt, and do a Punchin'. puncheon of targeting innocents. We are going to... We'll play Summon Staff because it gives me a draw and play anyway. We'll put Living Conflagration in play because, you know, it does damage on its own. I'm not too worried about that Plummeting Monorail yet. I mean, it's going to hurt, but damage is damage, right? Now, again, Lightning Slash, 5 damage, +2, +1, 8. We get to do a tremendous amount of damage here. 4 damage to Grand Warlord because they are nemesis. Thank you for that draw. I'm going to put Rest the Mind against the Plummeting Monorail. And we're going to make Tempest, Raw, no, Fanatic? Nope, just going to draw on your own. Lose a Mind Spike, it's not that big a deal. Demoralization, that will be handy. So yeah, the game is giving me a little bit of leeway after what happened in the last round. I got to be careful with Sacrosanct Martyr, or I'll get myself killed. I don't want to do that.
How far away are we looking from time on this one?
All right, we'll go all in here. We'll start by hopefully another 2 rounds. So
okay, we might just be able to make it.
Okay, I'm going to go quick as I can. We're going to redirect the damage. Here, we're taking extra damage because we're dealing it ourselves. Please. Oh, well, the police will help us. 1 point of damage. Thank you. The TCF Conqueror. Okay, here's his big Devastator. Does 3 damage. Fanatic is going to get out. That's fine. All right. It's going to destroy hero ongoing cards. We are going to play... We're just going to go all in on damage. We're going to try and finish this real quick. Here we go. Anyway, you've all got an idea of what this game is like. Including every so often when it just decides it's going to run you over. What have I got here? Summon Staff, because of course, an extra card. Flame Spike. Oh, Flame Spike, beautiful. Damage plus an extra power, just for this turn. And we're going all in, like I said, so we're going to smack it, and we'll use the Staff of Ra. It does 3 projectile damage, plus, well, you throw it, right? So destroy the card. There we go. Sometimes you go all in and it works, sometimes you go all in and it doesn't. But this time, it does. And that is time. Bam. Sorry about going late. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me twice. Thank you for letting me show this thing off. Hopefully this interests some of you. The game is a very interesting tabletop card game. If you ever want to play it with me online, I love playing it online. Get in touch. I wish Citizen Dawn would have been more cooperative, but like I said, it's a card game. The randomness, the shuffle of the deck makes a difference. So again, thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me do this. I'll get out of your way right now. Again, do raise lots of money for cancer. Do give us lots of money for cancer and or for fighting cancer, to be clear. And we'll see you again soon. Have a good marathon, everyone.
Thank you, Organ Mike. That was a really fun run to watch. And I had a scroll through, and I am pretty sure that was the first time we've had an Android game on any of our GFH events. So thank you for that. That was fantastic. We are going to keep things moving here. We have What the Car coming up next, so make sure you stick around for that one.